What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of StoneBlock. Oh yeah, guys. So I wanted to work towards getting more power today. We've been talking about for the last couple of episodes. It's time. So we have quests in our quest book here for environmental tech doing the solar arrays. I was kind of looking at these here a second ago. So yeah, on the power generation section, we have like all of these different solar array quests that we need to do. Now, we already knocked out a bunch of these solar panels, and these are okay. We get about 2,000 RF per tick per panel, but these solar arrays can be so much more powerful. So I want to start working towards getting a solar array tier 1 today, and then we'll see about upgrading it. So a solar array tier 1, this guy. This does require us to have litherite. Now, litherite is made, or I guess these blocks of litherite are made from these litherite crystals, and then those are made from floral green, or I guess any kind of a green dye and a lime dye, plus some flint and some diamonds. So I'm pretty sure we can do all of this, no problem. Now, as far as the green and the, well, I guess we can do this. The green dye and the lime, I'm not sure if we had lime at all. Why does that show up when I search for lime? Maybe because slime? Okay. So yeah, we don't have lime, we don't have green, but we do have these mystical green flowers. So let's just take one of these. We will convert that into the petals, and then we will take the mortar and pestle on one of them. No, actually, no. We're not going to do that just yet. We need to make a bunch of these petals. Then we can do the mortar and pestle, convert that into the floral green, and then combine that with bone meal to get lime. Right? Okay. So bone meal, we'll grab this stuff. Again, I think I have some more over here. And then we're going to need shears. Okay. So I am going to plant these petals down, harvest them, plant them, harvest them, etc. Do we have more bone meal here? We do. Okay. So let's do that. So plant, bone meal. Then I'm going to need a shear. And then we can vein mine shear. So I'll probably end up making a whole bunch of these things, because fairly certain we're going to need a whole bunch of these things. Yeah, so just bone meal them, vein mine shear them, and rinse and repeat, right? Okay, well, let me get to this. We'll be right back. Okay, so a bunch of those mystical tall green flowers have been grown. Now we got a bunch of mystical green petals. So let's go ahead and turn that into floral green powder. Okay, so we'll have a stack and a half of that. And then we'll take half a stack plus bone meal, and then we will do that. So now we got a stack of lime and a stack of floral green. I was looking over here. I'd forgotten about this. We have green chickens, the cactus green ones. Yeah, cactus green chickens. We already have these, and we 10 these. We also have flint and bone white, yellow, cocoa, and a few other various other chickens here that, yeah, we should probably do something with at some point. But yeah, just easy enough to bone meal the Botania stuff or the dyes that we need. Okay, so we'll put all that stuff in the system here. Now we need to go back and look at the litherite. So again, we need to go to this one, that, and this. I'm just going to make, I don't know, that many, because that's as much as we can make. We do have flint chickens. Let's see, how much more green dye? Okay, so we could probably end up making 2 stacks of that. We should probably get our flint chicken put into one of these roosts over here and send that stuff into the system. Flint. Let's grab, I guess, the wood chicken for now. Place that here. And we will just do some of this action. Yeah, we should be making plenty of flint. Yeah, we got like 2 stacks of that stuff. Plenty of flint to go into the system. All right, I'll just go ahead and do this. And replace that with our wood chicken once again. And our flint chicken could go back here. We probably should get that thing hooked up so it's automatically just going into a storage drawer at some point. But how often do we need flint? I don't know. We'll probably look at that at some point in the future if we need more. Anyway, so let's finish making that. So there is 2 full stacks of litherite crystals. That wasn't so bad to do. Okay, so going back to the solar array controller tier 1, we also need to get ourselves a solar cell of some description. So a litherite solar cell requires photovoltaic cell, which is not expensive. We have all that. We also need interconnect, which requires a modifier component. component, black concrete powder. Okay, so we can either do black concrete, which means we got to make the concrete powder and place it next to water and then harvest it. Or I think there might be another way. Yeah, the fluid transposer works too. Wait, hold on a second. What was the other one? Hydrator, chiseling, fluid block transformation. Oh, that's a nice way of doing it. I like that. Okay, but we will probably end up doing this one since we can just use the concrete powder and we get 4 of those at a time, so we don't have to worry about hydrating the block at all. And then iron really isn't a big deal for us. So yeah, we can do all of this stuff. That's not a big deal. So let's start making some patterns for this. So we want this guy, and then we wanted to get back to a litherite solar cell. So photovoltaic, we'll make one of those. Then we're going to need this guy, like so. So that is the modifier component. Wait for this thing to go back to litherite, and then this. Okay. Can we click on any of these and get back to the litherite? I guess we can do that, speed things along a little bit. We'll also need this connector, which is redstone and iron. So that's a bunch of patterns right there for what we're trying to do. So back to litherite, and I think that's all we need. I think that will do everything. So that should get us the litherite solar cell. And we need one of those, or I guess any of these different solar cells to make the solar controller. Yeah, and then we need the litherite tile, this stuff. We'll make one recipe for this guy. I think that should be about it other than this. Okay, so now we should have all the patterns complete to make that controller. That was a lot of pattern crafting here, but that'll save us time down the road, I'm fairly certain. All right, so let's go ahead and make ourselves, oops. I'm right clicking and nothing is happening. Did I just break everything? What is going on with the system? Oh my goodness. Solar cell. No, solar array. Start. So we're missing black concrete powder and we are missing 39 more litherite. So that's one of the advantages for making the patterns for that, because you know like how much you have or how little you have. So I need to get a little bit more lime, I guess. Well, we had some green, right? Let's go back in here. Green. Okay, so we have 2 stacks. I will make another set of this stuff. So we need the, oh, you know what? I didn't have the litherite in the system. Derp. Solar. Let's try that again with the litherite in there. Okay, so black concrete. So we need one recipe for the black concrete powder. So let's click through for that black concrete powder somewhere in here. Okay, so that's a black dye, sand, and then gravel. If you're hearing a bell in the background, that would be my cat Max playing with a little toy that has a bell in it. So black concrete powder. So do we have ink sac? We don't even have ink sac. Do we have black dye of some description? We have crushed black quartz. Is that the same as black dye? I don't think so. So we could probably just grab some of this, convert that, mortar. We'll do this and this, that. And if we or dictionary that, will that be okay using the floral black powder, or do we have to set the floral black powder there? Let's just do it this, oh. I tried clicking it on there and it didn't click. Try doing it this way. Okay, so we'll do that. I'll click or dictionary in case we do get ink sacs in the future. All right, so we'll do that. So a couple more recipes here to hopefully get this going. Wait, black concrete powder. What was this one? I'm not sure. Let me take that one away. We'll do this one. So now if we do this recipe, solar, start it. It looks like everything's available, yeah? I think we're good to go. So yeah, only 39 of the litherite, not 2 stacks plus 39. All right. So there is the solar array controller tier 1, and that should complete the first portion of the quest. But that controller doesn't really do anything by itself. You do need to set up a multi-block structure for it to do something. But yeah, this is now complete. Let's claim our loot chest and pop it. We get Fluex and Certus. Okay. So I did upgrade our mod pack here to the newest version. I think it's 27R2. I think so. And I was looking through the change logs, and one of the versions they did remove, was it beehives? As many beehives from the mining dimension, they reduced it. Anyway, so what I ended up doing before I updated the mod pack, I came in here, I collected my solar cells and our capacitor banks here and the flux plug, put it in my inventory, went back to the overworld, deleted this whole dimension, and then upgraded it and then recreated the dimension and placed everything back here. So this mining dimension looks slightly different than it did before. And now we have a meteor like right here by our portal. One of the AE2 things. I don't know if we're going to be touching AE2 at all, but yeah, we have one of these here. So I don't think there's any good stuff that you can find in these meteors other than for applied energistics. So I think we're just going to leave that well alone. Anyway, just wanted to bring that up, that I did update the mod pack to the current version, and I remade this world so it's not quite as laggy as it was before. Yeah, there's quite a lot of bees happening here underground, just causing all sorts of particle lag, I guess. But anyway, we need to get our solar controller going. We need to look at getting to the next tier stuff, which is going to mean we need the digital, or not the digital, we need the void ore miner. Okay, so I was looking at the environmental tech, the mod here, to see what it was that we needed to do to craft the in-game book. And I'm not seeing an in-game book here, so I went to go look at the assembler and hold shift for info. It says search Valkyrie lib digital guide in JEI for the game guide. Okay, so we need to go Val digital guide, this thing. So this is now in a different mod, which I don't know. I have mixed feelings about that. When you go and search for items for a mod, and then what you're looking for is in a completely different mod that doesn't make sense, I don't know. Anyway, so here's our digital guide. So this thing, okay, so I guess ET Lunar Guide? I guess that's another mod. I'm not sure what this is for. Anyway, so now environmental tech. So we have the different tiered crystals, different blocks, all these kinds of things. So I kind of want to see for the solar array tier 1, does it not show what we need? Void ore miner. Multi-block position above controller, modifiers. Oh, here it goes. You can scroll down using your mouse. This guide is actually kind of nice. I like the way it's laid out here. So we need 16 structure frame tier 1s. We need 9 solar cells, and then we need 4 of the null modifiers. Okay, and if we want to go up to a tier 2, we're going to need structure frame tier 2s. Okay, so structure frame tier 1, that's another thing we're going to need. Structure frame tier 1. All right, so the structure frame tier 1, that's more litherite. Then we're going to need the interconnects. Okay, so we know how to make all that stuff. That's not a big deal. I should be able to just come in here and make a recipe for this. All right, so let's do that. And place that guy over here. And then we want 16 of the structure frames, I think. Let's make 16, or attempt to make 16. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that. That looks like we can. Okay, so we'll just craft those up. What else do we need here? We need 9 more of the solar cells and then 4 null modifiers. So let's make 9 of those. Looks like we can do that. Man, I wish the auto crafting went faster. It seems pretty slow. So there's that. We needed the, not interconnects, or the structure. Okay, and then we need null modifier. Okay, so the null modifier is not really that difficult to make. So again, we will just make a recipe for it. We should have everything in the system ready to go to craft this. So right click, null modifier, and we want 4. Okay, not bad. So we should have everything together to put this solar array controller to work. The other thing is we are going to want that assembler, whatever this thing was called. Yeah, assembler. So that's a litherite plus 2 obsidian. Can we just craft that? Looks like we can. Very good. Okay, so the assembler is kind of like a magic wand. You place on the solar array controller where you want it, and then you shift right click or right click with the assembler, and it places all the blocks in the correct position for you. Yeah, it's definitely an item that you want. Do we have any conduit, maybe? Power conduit? Doesn't look like. We are going to want to put this solar panel, obviously, above our battery or, you know, somewhere, and then we're going to need to run the power to our battery. So we need some way to transfer power. I guess we could do more flux plugs. We have a flux plug coming off this and going into the battery. I'm not sure the best way to go about that. Do we have the ability to make... Yeah, we do. Okay, so let's do this. We'll just craft up another flux plug, and then we'll do another flux point. Okay. That way we'll just wirelessly transfer the power from the solar panel into the battery, and then the battery power going to the rest of the base will stay the same. Okay, I think that should be fine. So over here is our chunk. Let's turn on F9 so we know what our boundaries are. So we could put the solar array over here, I suppose. This should be fine. Let me place down some blocks here. I don't want it like on the ground directly, like maybe 2 blocks up should be fine. So I'll place that right there. What? Okay, what? Try that again. Place that right there. Very good. And then we will click it with the assembler. All right, so that's building our solar panel for us. And that's currently making 549 FE per tick according to the thing. 549 FE per tick really is not that much for the amount of work that it takes to make this, the amount of resources that goes into this, right? At least it doesn't seem like it's that much, or yeah, it's not that much compared to what it takes to make a solar panel tier 6 over here that makes like 2,000 RF per tick, right? Well, yeah, it's true, but you can also take these solar cells and upgrade them. So these are the tier 1 solar cells. You can upgrade them all the way to the highest tier, and this tier 1 solar array will make a lot more power, but you have to have the higher tier solar cells. It's kind of a trade-off. I don't know. I'm not sure if I like this particular thing over like something that's just a single block setup, but with this, you can be a little cheaty with it if you have the cheaty wand of cheatiness, because last time I checked anyway, if you use the acceleration wand on this, it will in fact produce way more power. I'm pretty sure that these solar panels would do the same thing, although I've never tried it. Well, yeah, it's just one of those things. But anyway, let's take our flux plug that we made, since we made it. We'll put it on here. We will create a new network. We'll call this... I was going to hold down backspace, but you can't do that. We'll call this solar array, I guess. That's what this thing is called, right? A solar array, pretty sure. So we'll just create that. That should be fine. We need to tell this to go on solar array, and then we will enable limit false. Okay, so now we can put our flux point on this guy, on this end. This will be from the solar array. Again, enable limit false. So now our power is coming from here into our battery, and then we are sending power from the battery to the main base, right? So, yeah, we got a little bit more power. Well, this isn't really that much more. I mean, again, this is only like 500 RF, so it's like we added a quarter more of one of these panels on there. Not a whole lot of power, but we needed to do that in order to upgrade, or I guess to get the quest complete, right? And I believe if we want, we can source the parts from the solar array for the next ones. We can upgrade the solar panels to the next tiers and all of that stuff. We could probably grab some of these structure frames if we wanted to and use this for a void or miner, which is another thing that we need to make in order for us to progress through this mod. So we should probably look at doing that. So if we do void or miner, that does require more litherite, block of diamond. It does require a lens of some description, which I think is just glass. We can get to it. Yeah, it's just glass and an H pattern to make the lens. All right, let's click our backspace all the way back to where we wanted to be. A diode, just more glass, redstone, iron. That's not bad at all. And then the interconnects, which we've already seen before. Okay, so void ore miner controller. So making one of those is not bad. We will probably have to make more litherite, not a big deal. Let's go to the digital guide and we'll go back. So we want to do... Is there a way to get to the particular... Let's click home. We want void ore miner. Here we go. So we want 24 more structure frames. We need 20 structure panels. No modifiers. We need 2 laser cores and a laser lens. Yeah, I like how this is all set up here. So it says default duration 400, minimum duration 400. What does that mean? I don't know. Does that mean like how much power it uses? I'm not actually sure what that means. It's a 7x4x7. All right. And then it says these are the different modifiers, but I don't think we can put any modifiers on the first one. Looks like void ore miner tier 2 can't take modifiers. And then a lot more going down the chain here. Okay, so default duration, I'm noticing that's 400. So this has got to be ticks, right? So 320, and that number goes down as we go up in tier. And then all the way down to void ore miner tier 620. So that means it produces an ore every second. Okay, so that makes more sense. I will go ahead and start making the items that we need in order to get this thing going. We'll look at hooking up a void ore miner, which we are going to need to produce the items that go into the structure frame tier 2 in order to make the next tier environmental tech items. So let me get to that and we will be right back. Alright guys, so in order to get our void ore miner to work, we need to have a hole dug all the way down so we can look at bedrock. So I just got done doing that. I went over to a neighboring chunk from our solar, right? I just went all the way down to bedrock, no lava in the way. Okay, so anyway, void ore miner. Now I do believe this has to be above and the multi-block goes below it. Now, I think it said it was 4 blocks tall, right? So that means that needs to be on the 4th block, I believe. Or does that mean that needs to be... Yeah, I think that means the 4th block. So if we go 1, 2, 3, and then the controller, I think that's where that needs to be. Let's try this. Okay. So again, we'll use our wand here to place all of the other blocks in order to get this going. It says it's going to use 660 RF per tick, which is fine. Pretty much the first thing that we need to do... Okay, so we have the laser. So the laser's formed. That means everything is correct. The very first thing that we need to do with this is start collecting erodium. Erodium, the ores will automatically push onto this chest, by the way. Erodium is the crystal that we're going to be getting from the tier 1 in order to upgrade to the tier 2. And we need like 54 of those, I think. Let's take a look at this. Lens. If we look at the different lenses here, there's a crystal laser lens. If we look at the uses of the crystal laser lens on the void ore miner tier 1, we can see that we can get erodium crystal and we can get litherite. So by default, we're going to be getting litherite crystals at a 1.9% rate, and we'll be getting erodium at a 1.43%. That is very low, right? So that's like 1 out of 100 will be getting this-ish. If we upgrade to the crystal laser lens, that does significantly increase the percentage that we will be getting those. So nearly 10%, 10% chance we'll get a rhodium crystal every time it mines an ore. That's what we want. Okay, so have we received anything yet? No. Oh, you know what? Probably would help if we had power. So we can't use our wireless transmitter here. We need to go back to the base and get ourselves a flux point in order to provide that thing power. Yeah, my mistake. Point this guy. Okay, so that should be all we need. We'll just draw power from our battery, which is being powered from the solar cells and from our solar array here. So we'll just place this guy up on here and we will select Hypnotizd network. Okay, very good. So now this thing has power. Now it should be producing resources, and it's going to be producing them very slowly. We saw every 400 ticks, which is, I don't know, 400 divided by 20. Yeah, no, it's like 20 seconds or something. Yeah, Yeah, so there's our very first ore, platinum ore. Now, 1 out of 100 of those, we're going to get an item of the next tier. Ain't nobody got time for that. So we're going to use our cheaty wand of cheatiness on here to hopefully speed up this process. Now, it's not going to be like, whoa, slow down, that's too fast kind of speed, but it will be helping us out getting these ores that much quicker. I am noticing, though, that my wand is not being charged while I'm here. Okay, so yeah, that's a problem. Our Flex network controller is in the overworld, and everything in the overworld is not chunk loaded at this time. So a way to fix this is I could just take our controller thing, right? Flex network controller, and just stick it in our loaded chunk in the mining world. We don't really need access to this in the overworld at all. And that area is chunk loaded. That's where we're going to be for the next few minutes, hours, days. I don't know. That's where we're going to be. So I might as well just hang out over here. It's not like it's going to hurt anything. Yeah, we'll just stick it by the battery. And right there. So this thing, wireless charging is enabled. Okay, so we should be good with that in a loaded chunk. So if I start doing this, our wand does not appear to be losing any power at all, which is fantastic. Right, so 54 erodium is what we need for the crystal laser lens in order to start getting erodium and other crystals for the next tiers above it at a reasonable rate. Yeah, it's going to take a little bit of time to get that. I'm probably going to get sick of holding right click. It's what it is. It is what it is. We could just make a whole boatload of these Void Orb Miner Controller Tier 1s and all the platforms and all of this stuff and just let it go without any interaction, but I still feel like that'd be a lot slower than what we're currently doing. Yeah. Oh, look, Dimensional Shard Ore. Okay, well, we're getting good stuff out of this anyway, but yeah, this is going to be pretty slow. This is probably the most disappointing thing about environmental tech. The default configuration is the whole needing the crystals to upgrade to the next tier. Yeah. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to go and wrap the episode up here for today. I'm going to be spending some time here in this mining dimension, holding right click on that controller. I really hope that we can get enough of the erodium in order to upgrade and move on. Well, at least in order to get the crystal laser lens, and then we'll start getting those crystals at a much more reasonable rate. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.